We're back after a long winter break to talk the end of the Texas football season and about that big game this weekend. All that and more coming up next on College Crossfire.
I guess we'll get into it, guys. Always enthusiastic, unbelievable, hard-nosed.
Roll up the sleeves for this one.
This Dallas team was very overrated from the start, like they always are every year.
The talent there, Kevin Mack, Eric Davis, and Cronin Roach, are maybe three of the most talented guys in the team.
That's an ugly shirt.
Always a pleasure having you on, guys.
Time to freak out.
Good evening and welcome in the College Crossfire. I'm your host, Mark Skol Jr. Glad to have you back for the first time this semester. Let's go ahead and meet tonight's panel. To my left, Ariea Bastami, now a veteran on the show.
Thank you so much. It's good to be back as a vet. It's good to be back. Yeah, thank you.
Great to have you on.
Great
Joe Morris, man in the middle. Big game this weekend for him as well. How you doing, Joe?
I'm doing good. The Mavs need a win against the Pelicans this weekend to stay alive in the lottery round.
Yeah,
let's go, baby.
That's
Joe,
the big game.
Funny as always, Joe. On the end, Matthew Adams, the most seasoned vet on the show. Great to have you back on.
Yeah, Mark, it's great to be back, and I wasn't going to ask this, but to annoy Jonathan over here, Mark, how are you doing?
Matt, I forgot what I was supposed to say.
Welcome
If I was doing any better, it wouldn't be fair to anybody else. All right, let's get started. The Texas football team ended its season on a high note as the Longhorns secured the bag and the victory over Missouri 33-16 in the Texas Bowl. But news has come out that wide receiver Reggie Hemphill-Mapps could be transferring, who had the second most receptions on the team. So Texas has lost a lot of talent on the team, including Mapps. So is there a reason to be hopeful for next season? Ariea?
You know, I think that there is, especially on the defensive end. Now, I understand that the players that you've listed are on the offensive end, though I think for Texas, I mean, you get a guy like Caden Stearns, you get a guy like B.J. Foster that's going to be helping Antoine Davis, which is one of the best defensive players in the Big 12. I think they've got a great shot. Also, I mean, without any reason, they're ranked the third best recruiting team coming into Texas. That's got to go with Warrant. So I think there is a lot to be hopeful for this season.
It's going to be interesting to see how many true freshmen Tom Herman ends up playing. We all know Sam Ehlinger was quarterback, and he was starting as a true freshman.
Right.
So B.J. Foster, guys like him, he could be making an impact right away.
Exactly.
Joe?
I think they do because they have the good foundation of both trench battles in the bag. You got 4 returning offensive linemen. You've got the defensive line of Nashawn Hughes, P.J. Locke, Charles Omenihu, and Brecken Hager, all 4 great players under the defense last year. And so if they come back this year, even better. They got the solid foundation in place. It just matters on the quarterbacks taking the next step, becoming elite, the offense clicking again, and Texas will be pretty good.
That's an interesting comment, just because the defensive line lost Big 12 Defensive Line Player of the Year, Poona Ford, and then the offense lost Connor Williams. Offensive line lost Connor Williams. I think the trenches on the defensive side is okay. Offensively, they never got the run game going, so it'll be a
at the end of the
toss-up.
year.
Maybe.
They had to change
There was a lot of
Yeah.
luck going in on that one.
about you?
I think defensively they're going to be fine. They're going to be young still. I know Ariea mentioned they've got the 3rd-ranked class. The last time they were ranked 3rd, though, was 2012 with Jonathan Gray, Malcolm Brown. That class was a bust. So I'm not as hopeful about the recruiting rankings as others. Offensively, there's a lot of holes. I mean, on the offensive line, the depth isn't really there. You've still got quarterback questions. Sam Ehlinger, you thought was the guy, but who knows? One of these young guys might come in there. And then you've got the questions at receiver now. If Reggie Hemphill-Mapps does transfer, you know, that's a huge loss. You don't want to lose a slot guy. And if you have to rely on the outside guys going deep with Colin or Lil Jordan Humphrey, I think it's going to be tough. So I'm pessimistic here, and I'm going to say the offense is going to be rough. I don't expect much more.
I'm going to go with Ariea here because he was one of the most optimistic. Joe was optimistic.
Thank you.
Just because when Texas was playing this season, in years past with Charlie Strong, all the games they were getting, all the losses they'd be getting blown out. Now, this past season, all the games they lost were really close. A couple of them were in overtime too. All right, guys, moving on the hoops. The freshman Mo Bamba has been on an absolute roll lately. He set a career high in points with 25 against Ole Miss and has scored 49 in his last 2 games. But here at Texas, we are used to seeing the big man 5-star recruits. In the last 4 years, the Longhorns have brought in Miles Turner and Jared Allen, both selected in the first round of the NBA draft. But how does Bamba stack up against these big-time recruits?
I'm going to go past that. I think Bamba is the best player to come to Texas since LaMarcus Aldridge.
Wow.
He's got, at the very worst, his
Wait, did you not forget about
forgot
Kevin
Yeah, I
Grant?
think you just
is
forgot
that
about
before?
He was drafted after.
Fine. Then since Katie.
Okay. I was gonna say, Kevin Durant was pretty good.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Debatably.
So you think he's better?
Yeah, so he's got the tools, he's got the rebounding, he can play defense inside, he can block, he can defend shots, he can score from outside the paint, he can shoot threes, he's got everything you'd want as a player. His athleticism is off the charts. At worst, when he gets into the NBA, he'll be like Bismack Biyombo, like defensive center kind of guy, drive stopper and all that. But his high end, he could be probably a top 5 pick in this draft, if depending on who's drafting and what they need.
It'll be interesting, and if he puts on a lot of muscle, and that's what we said about Miles Turner and about Jared Allen, he could
Dexter
be a
Pittman.
force. Dexter Pittman was pretty big. He could be a force in the NBA. Matt?
Yeah, no, I think he's definitely the best of the recruits so far since KD and LaMarcus set the record straight. You know, when you look at the last recruiting classes, I mean, Miles Turner has turned out great, but the problem for him at Texas was he didn't fit in with that offensive scheme that Rick Barnes had. So it's hard to judge Mo Bamba against him, really. And then when you compare Mo to Jared, they're two completely different animals, basically. And Mo Bamba has so much more range. When you look at his stats right now, 4.4 blocks. That's incredible. I mean, that is at the Anthony Davis level. So by far, Mo Bamba has been the best recruit in a long time.
That's interesting. I think Mo Bamba, he's amazing on defense. I mean,
For sure.
When he's out there, you can't drive in the paint if you're the other team. He's been phenomenal.
Yeah, I mean, just a culmination of what both of these guys had said. I think Mo Bamba does definitely have that range, and that's what sets him apart from a guy like Jared Allen, from a guy like Miles Turner, is because when they were playing here at Texas, you didn't really hear that much from that. Mo Bamba in his last 4 games is shooting upwards of 40% from the three-point line. I mean, that's pretty big for a guy that's relatively big. So I think especially with the way that the NBA is going towards with guys like Steph Curry, or even on the opposite side of the spectrum, a guy like Kevin Love, both of them, the thing that brings them together is the three-point shot. So because that's becoming big in the NBA, a guy like Bamba is going to be pivotal.
I hate to be like this on the first show back, but no one's getting the points here. I thought Miles Turner was the best.
Wow.
I personally thought because
that's shameful.
Maybe not at Texas because Rick Barnes put him on the bench. He was the 6th man coming off, but I thought Miles Turner has the best potential. Way better offensive game than Mo Bamba. I'm sorry, but Mo Bamba dunking a lot. He's made less than 15 threes all season. I don't know where you guys are getting this 3-point stuff from. All right, guys, there's a new face of Texas athletics and its new athletic director, Chris Del Conte. Texas swiped him away from in-state rival TCU, and Del Conte seems to already be making an impact on the 40 acres, and he's only been here for 2 months. How big of a hire is this for Texas, Matt?
Well, it's a big deal because Texas hasn't had an athletic director since the Lost Dodds left. You know, to match what Texas A&M had with Jimbo Fisher, this was a huge move. We've seen what Chris Del Conte has done at TCU, and so, you know, for a young coach like Tom Herman, having Del Conte is a huge, huge factor going forward. It only bodes well for Texas going forward.
And one thing I really like about him is his availability on social media. He responds to everything.
Huge.
Every single fan who's tweeted at him, he's responded.
He's
even
huge
the
on
crazy
social
ones.
media, and he's been huge at Texas basketball games. I see him a lot of times just going around talking with fans and stuff. And you got to work the crowd. And he's doing that both physically and on social media, like you said.
Ariea?
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to have to agree 100%. I think that just to put it in a different narrative for this specific scenario, I mean, what he did at TCU, obviously, as Matt alluded to, was fantastic. Though the thing that he could do at Texas is, you know, the Frank Erwin Center, the drum kind of looks bad. The renovations are supposed to be really good. He spent over $71 million at the renovations at TCU. I mean, if he's bringing that big money over there, why not bring it to Austin, Texas? Same thing with DKR. So we'll see what happens. But in terms of economic stability, this guy's fantastic. So I'm excited.
He's been great so far, Joe.
I also agree. I think when you look at what he did at TCU in terms of getting the resources together to make TCU not only a power in basketball, a national power in football, but he also brought the basketball team up from when it was nothing when they came to the Big 12, and now they are contending for the Big 12 title, sort of. I mean, they made a lot of progress over the last like 5 years. So it's not just what he brings though; it's also what he takes away, and that's no more wristband policy, baby. Let's go. I'm pumped for this new season. I'm not even going to be here.
That's true.
He's been great, but I'm going to go with Matt here on this one. He mentioned DeLoss Dodds, who is the athletic director, longtime athletic director, Hall of Fame athletic director. He was great, and Texas hasn't had someone great since him, so Chris Del Conte could be the next DeLoss Dodds. All right, awesome stuff, guys. After the break, our panelists will discuss who will win the Super Bowl and if Brady is, in fact, the GOAT. You don't want to miss it. Welcome back in the College Crossfire, your home for live sports debate on the 40 acres. Let's take a look at the scoreboard. Ariea Bastami with 1. Brian Westbrook with 0. And Matt Adams with 1. All right, awesome stuff. All right, we're talking Super Bowl here on Crossfire. The two quarterbacks in the big game are on the opposite sides of the spectrum. We all know Patriots quarterback Tom Brady is making his 8th appearance in the big game and already has 5 rings, while Eagles quarterback Nick Foles started the season as a backup to Carson Wentz and is making his first Super Bowl appearance. But which quarterback faces more pressure, Brady or Foles? Ariea?
I mean, I think it's just no debate. It's got to be Foles. I mean, Brady's got a full hand of Super Bowl wins and 2 MVPs, 12 Pro Bowls for whatever that's worth in today's NFL, but he's got them, so he's going to go down as the GOAT in the NFL no matter what. Foles, now, if he wins, that makes things very, very interesting in Philadelphia. Now, not to say that he would steal Carson Wentz's spot, but he would be very intriguing on the trade block because then you could say, hey, we've got a Super Bowl winning quarterback, why don't you take him? And then you could play with Wentz, or, I don't know, who knows, maybe Foles is the new guy in Philly. So.
I don't think Foles is going to be replacing Wentz, but
you never know.
I think he does have a lot of pressure considering Philadelphia's never won a Super Bowl, and he's a chance to make him win the first Super Bowl in history.
I'm going to say it's Brady, actually, because when you look at Nick Foles and the Eagles, they're underdogs. They're playing with nothing to lose. They've already had a great season. They've already surpassed any expectations, even when they started getting good. So when you look at Brady, though, Gronk might not play. He's still trying to clear concussion protocol. He doesn't have the same weapons he had last year. Brady's going to have he hasn't faced an elite defense in the playoffs aside from Jacksonville, which they barely squeaked out a win, a controversial win. The Eagles' defense looks a lot better than Jacksonville has over the playoffs. They've given up 17 points in 2 games. That's going to be a way harder game for Tom Brady to work with.
Joe Morris, not biased at all here on College Crossfire. You can tell by that jersey. Matt?
You know, as much as I want to agree with Joe, Brian, whatever he is over here now, it's still Nick Foles. I mean, you look at Tom Brady and what he's accomplished so far. I mean, he's going to keep playing for another 2 or 3 years, so he's going to have more opportunities if he does happen to lose this Super Bowl. This for Nick Foles, I mean, this is the most pressure he's going to face other than the state title game he did against South Lake Carroll. Wow. So, I mean, it's a no-brainer here. Nick Foles.
I'm going with Joe, actually, on this one.
Oh.
The reason is they've been the underdog the entire playoffs, and they've won every single time. I mean, I think there's a reason why.
This is Tom Brady and Bill Belichick.
That could be the only excuse. They've lost twice in the Super Bowl.
This is for Brady's legacy. This could hurt his legacy.
This is not going to hurt
his legacy.
The only legacy hurt
Joe's getting the point. Moving on. All right, Patriots quarterback Tom Brady is widely considered the best player in NFL history. Brady has 5 Super Bowl rings, which is tied for the most in NFL history with former 49ers and Cowboys linebacker Charles Haley. And with a 6th ring, it would put him in uncharted territory. So, guys, if Tom Brady gets that 6th ring, is he the greatest sportsman of all time? Joe?
No, Dirk's always going to be the GOAT.
Oh.
You want stats?
God.
You want
Mr.
stats? Try
Bias
this
here.
for stats. Well, try beating Marcus Aldridge, Kobe Bryant, Harden,
LeBron.
Durant, yeah.
Call me when he got 6
Ibaka,
rings.
when they're prime. And LeBron, Wade, Bosh, in their best season. Easily Dirk. Greatest finals run of all time.
Dirk is the greatest German of all time. I'll give you that. All right, Matt, is Brady the greatest sportsman of all time with the 6th Super Bowl ring?
No, I mean, still the greatest QB of all time. But when you have, I mean, we've got Phelps, who should be a 1, Jordan, Federer, Gretzky, Woods, now Brady.
Wow. So you've got Brady behind Woods.
I mean, one might argue Usain Bolt should be ahead of Brady, for all I know.
Bo Jackson?
No, not Phil Jackson. Come
Bo
on
Jackson.
now. Oh, Bo Jackson. Oh, no.
Two sports?
No.
Two sports?
No, I mean, calm the horses with Brady being the greatest.
Okay, all right.
Get on the horses and say Tom Brady's going to be the greatest of all time.
Oh,
Prove me! Prove me! I wanted it! I've been waiting for this. Listen, after what he did, you take the pressure a player has to go through in a Super Bowl from a guy that was not supposed to be in that position from the first Super Bowl. Now he is going to be here, and who knows what's going to happen. The amount of pressure this man has surpassed, it's like the Beats commercial every single time with this guy. The amount of pressure this man has surpassed is undeniable. And for that, I mean, he's going to go down as the GOAT in all of sports.
Wow. I don't agree with that. I'm going with Matt on the point. The only reason why, Malcolm Butler, he owes him a big
Adam Vinatieri.
Adam Vinatieri, the Falcons offensive coordinator, Kyle
No,
Shanahan.
stop it.
All
Oh,
those guys.
The
So,
equipment manager?
I don't.
Yeah, I mean, equipment manager.
I do think Phelps is the greatest sportsman of all time, so Matt, you're getting the point. All right, guys, the question I've been waiting to ask all night, who is going to win the Super Bowl, the Eagles or the Patriots? I need a winner, a Super Bowl MVP, and a score prediction.
Oh,
Matt?
shoot. You know, I gotta go fly, Eagles, fly. It's the third chance. Get rid of the conference title. It's a Super Bowl finally for Philly. I mean,
MVP and a prediction.
I'll go Foles for MVP. 31-28 Philly.
Wow, close one. I like it. Ariea?
Get ready for some boos. I think the Patriots are going to come out. I think they're going to win. I think Tom Brady, given the last two Super Bowls, he really didn't play that well in terms of his numbers. I think this is going to be the year that he does. I think he's going to obliterate a great Eagles defense. You can give it to me all you want. I think he's going to do it, and he's going to be the MVP. So
he hasn't put up numbers.
What did you say was score prediction?
Score prediction, I'll go 21-10.
21-10. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Eagles defense is going to give Tom Fitz 24-17. Eagles on top. You can't give an entire defensive line the MVP, so I'm going Brandon Graham, 9.5 sacks over the season, 2 forced fumbles. Philly. Where's the mask? First Super Bowl.
I believe. Do we have a?
Next one.
Oh, next one. Okay, never mind. Wait, we're saving something for later. Joe, I'm going with the point here.
My goodness.
I do think the Eagles are going to win the Super Bowl. And you came with an underdog answer for MVP. I love it. All right, great debate, guys. That's it for now. We've got Rapid Fire up next, and you don't want to miss it.
The host is biased.
Welcome back to College Crossfire. Teeing up in here for some Rapid Fire. For those of you watching at home, each question in Rapid Fire is worth 2 points, so anyone can still take home the victory. Let's go ahead and take a look at the scoreboard. We've got Ariea Bastami with 1. He got the first point of the night.
Thank you, boys.
And he hasn't got any points left.
Gas me up.
Joe Morris, the underdog. Brian Westbrook, he's got 2. And Matthew Adams with 2 as well. All right, guys, here we go. We talked about this earlier. Chris Del Conte is the new athletics director at Texas. And in case you haven't noticed, he's pretty responsive on social media, responds to everything. So here's your chance to pitch to the new AD. What's one change you would like to see Del Conte implement on the 40 acres?
Round Rock Donuts for every student here. Round Rock Donuts for every
Overrated.
student here.
Highly overrated.
Oh, you shut your mouth. You shut your mouth, Matt.
No.
You shut
No,
your mouth.
I will not.
I don't want to hear you. Round Rock Donuts for everybody. It gets very hard when you have an 8 a.m. You need a donut. Pick me up, and Round Rock
That's
is the
why
place
Rice
you get it.
Donuts is coming to campus, boy.
Shut that mouth. Del Conte, give us the donuts.
It's getting heated. That's how I love Rapid Fire. So donuts from Ariea, Joe and Matt.
Dog treats over here for him.
Ken's Donuts for the opposing team. That way they get sick with all the cockroaches.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
God, for me, it's got to be at basketball games. I don't want the little kids coming out there dancing on the court. I want better halftime performances. I want better halftime performances. What we have seen has been awful.
That is the Grinch. That is the Grinch.
What has been so awful?
That is the Grinch, ladies and gentlemen.
What has been so awful?
That is the Grinch.
Good Lord, I am tired of seeing, unicyclists out there. I'm tired of seeing little dog
You didn't like the
shows.
unicyclists with putting the pots on the head?
It pains me. I want to poke my eyes out.
Oh man, I love the energy you guys are bringing, but I could go for some donuts.
Let's go, baby!
No!
Oh man, wow. Matt is. I
Someone
don't
does
think
not
I've
like
ever seen.
yeast and
Brown
donuts.
Rock over. God,
All
move
right,
on.
all right.
We're
Aria,
back,
you're
baby.
getting the points there, so Aria's back in the
We're
lead.
back.
All right, you guys can take your time with these next couple of questions, okay? All right, guys. Big news out in the football world. The XFL is back. Vince McMahon announced the league will make its return in 2020. He's got a few interesting rules. You're not allowed to play if you have a criminal record. You're not allowed to kneel during the national anthem. And what I think is the craziest rule of them all, no fair catches during punts. But if you were in charge of the XFL, what rule do you think should be added?
If I was in charge of the XFL, the thing that I would want to be added is a dance-off between the person that got scored on and the person that scored on them. They have
I
to
like
face off
that.
in the end zone dance-off.
Like, how long does the dance-off take? I need some...
30 seconds.
30 seconds?
30-second dance-off.
So what happens if you win or lose the dance-off?
Person who wins the dance-off, it's like going for 2. They get 2 extra points. Person who loses the dance-off, they have 0. That's it.
Wow, so you get 2. So even if you get scored on, you can get points.
Yes, if I see an O lineman score the ball and then hit the Dougie, 2 points.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow, I like it.
Easy.
All right, you guys, new rule in the XFL.
Yep, just boo.
I gotta
boo
say,
me.
Joe, I'm loving the mask right now. I don't know if they can hear you at home, but I love it.
Well, they got to play with dogs on the field. The dogs
Oh.
they have dogs playing.
That's like, was Mike Vick gonna be?
Whoa,
That's a criminal record. He can't
Oh, that's
be
true.
out
That's
there.
true. That's true.
So
That's true.
we're safe. We're safe.
That's true.
Mike Vick.
So, what are the dogs doing on the field?
like-
Like,
it's like
are they doing
airborne.
the tricks like Matt was saying at halftime at Texas basketball
You're
games?
throwing passes to them and they're catching them, or they're
So, Air Bud?
basically Air Bud. I mean, that's.
yeah, or they're tackling people, they're jumping on folks and stuff.
They're jumping on folks. So they're a part of like the 11 guys on the field.
Yeah,
They're
yeah,
like,
you
so
can-
there's
you can
one.
train 'em.
How,
So
how many,
there's extra
how many
men.
dogs per team?
Oh, as many as they need. 2, 3,
And like,
11.
what kind of dogs are we talking?
The nastiest, meanest dogs for
Ooh.
the XFL.
So no chihuahuas.
What the heck is that?
Hey, they're pretty
can be-
mean.
they can
I
be
like
the
the
ball.
Chihuahuas in.
This is an interesting rapid fire. Matt, what about you?
I don't know if I've got a rule. The only thing I want to see is make sure Dwayne The Rock has some team he owns. That
Yes.
is all I want to
That
see.
he has what?
He's got to own a team.
No, Vince McMahon's owning all the teams.
No.
Oh,
He has
single
to have
entity.
one team. He
No,
has to
they've
make
already,
it his own.
they've already
It's
like.
single
has
entity.
to.
I already learned about this in class.
Thank
McMahon
you,
is
Mark, but we're
McMahon is
changing-
owning every single team.
Again, he's got to have his own team.
Is he playing? Is he like a player
No,
coach?
he'll play coach. He'll do it all.
What position?
He'll play quarterback.
Quarterback?
Rock.
No, he's gonna be center. You need a rock in the offensive line.
Let me just. I don't even know what's going on. I'm gonna just change it. Instead of the score for the dance-off, instead of doing a coin flip prior to, they have a dance-off prior to. Whoever wins the dance-off gets the ball. That's what I'm gonna stick with it.
Okay. Oh man. All right, you guys, all over the place here on College
Three
Crossfire,
awful
but
answers.
three. Actually, I do like Aria's answer
Oh
the
my
best there. So
God.
Aria,
Oh, man.
he's got a 3-point lead,
He
but
does.
still plenty of time in this next question. Final rapid fire question tonight. It's going to decide everything.
Oh,
All right.
gosh.
So final rapid fire of the night, and I hope you guys know your Longhorn Super Bowl trivia. For each correct answer, you get 1 point. And of course, whoever has the most points wins. So first, what Longhorns are on the rosters of the two
Marcus
Super Bowls?
Johnson,
Jordan
Hicks,
Hicks, Malcolm
and
Brown.
All right, Matt got 2 of those.
I got one.
Joe got 1. So let's see. That's
And-
Aria's got what 5 points.
Thanks, man.
Matt's got 4. Joe's got 3. So it's neck and neck, neck to neck. All right. Next question. How many straight years has a Longhorn played in the Super Bowl?
14.
13.
What the heck? Hold on! Whoa! How did he?
If you've been watching ESPN all week, you would know that answer already.
The question wasn't even
It
asked.
doesn't even matter if you've been watching.
It has. I have seen a lot on
That's true,
social
I
media.
lied.
I have seen a lot on social media. All right. This is an interesting one as well. What Longhorn has the most rushing yards in Super Bowl history?
Bobby Whitaker.
Fozzie Whitaker. 26 rushing yards in Super Bowl 50.
Puts it up.
26.
Puts it in.
So Fozzie Whitaker, Ariea, he's got 6. So 6, 3, 5. All right. All right. Who was the first Longhorn to win 2 Super Bowls? What year were you guys born?
Major
97.
Applewhite.
He won both Super Bowls when you guys were alive.
Major Applewhite.
No.
Get out of here.
Casey Hampton
No.
from the Steelers?
Nope. I'll give you guys some time because we've got some time to kill here. Let's see.
Rooks?
What's up?
The Rooks?
Rooks.
I don't know what I'm saying.
Oh, is it Aaron?
Not Aaron Ross. No.
Aaron Ross. Aaron
first two
Judge.
and two.
Aaron Judge.
Here's a big hint. Here's a big hint. He was one of John Elway's good buddies.
Aaron Chubbs.
Shane Michelle.
Shane Michelle.
John Elway's good buddies. You can catch him on Longhorn Network on away games.
Emmanuel Ocho.
This is so sad.
Offensive lineman.
Can I phone a friend?
Oh.
Justin Blaylock.
You know what? Take
No.
off. Oh, Quavo.
I'll give you his first name. You guys are terrible. Dan.
Dan Mullen. Dan Running. Dan
No.
Chubbs.
Oh,
Dan.
Dan.
Dan
Dan-
Kaepernick. What does
Dan
Kaepernick
Neal.
do?
Dan Neal.
Dan
Dan
Neal.
Neal.
Dan Neal. All right, Aria's already got the lead, but we got some time to kill.
Are you kidding me?
He's got the lead. He's got the win. But I got a bonus question. How many Longhorns have won a Super Bowl ring?
5.
Dude, come on. How many the first?
12.
In the wise words of 21 Savage, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
I'm going to say 19.
Way more than 8. Way more than 19.
27.
Less than 27.
25.
Less than 25.
26.
20. 21.
No.
22.
Kobe. Who's your second?
24. 24. 24.
Aria. Yep. 24. Do we still have some time? We got some time to kill. All right.
What is going on?
It's just for fun at this point.
FaceTime. Do we have time? We have time for FaceTime. Aria.
Do we have time for FaceTime?
Go
We
ahead.
do? Okay.
Yep.
I'm right here. Listen, everybody, I just want to say one thing. TSTV is the greatest program of all time. I'm not even sounding like
Oh,
I'm
this is
listen,
awful.
No, listen, you have hear me out. 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 For someone to get and be able to express themselves to wear a dog mask, for someone to just absolutely hate on donuts, you're not going to get that anywhere else. This is the place.
Round Rock sucks.
I don't want to hear it. Round Rock does not
No,
suck.
Round
Thank
Rock
you
does
all for
suck.
watching. I love you all. They're going to all roast me for this FaceTime. I don't even care. Thank you. Good night. Mark, you're the best. Everyone's the best here. I love you all. Bye. Bye. Bye.
Awesome. That's it for College Crossfire. Ariea Bastami is the champion. Don't miss College Press Box next Monday at 9 for a recap of all sports news on the 40 Acres. Special thanks to everyone in studio, Master Control, and to you for spending your Wednesday night with us. Till next time, I'm Mark Skol Jr. Good night.
You gave this guy the win?
I thought you got